What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, the founder of XLeads. And what I want to do today is give you a getting started guide on pretty much how XLeads works, on how you could start using this amazing software in wholesaling real estate. Now, we're just going to give you exactly everything you need to know to get started. Now, in this help guide and this help center, there's going to be a little more advanced trainings, but this should get you getting started using XLeads. And remember, if you have any questions, concerns, please don't forget that we have the greatest customer service team in the entire wholesaling real estate industry. This is the number below. This is the email below to contact us for any problems at all you have. We're here to help you out and we will not stop. We will be aggressive to make sure any questions you have get answered. And so welcome everyone to XLeads. I really appreciate you taking your time and effort to go out here and get the software. I will be your host, Zach, and let's break this all down. Now, I'll be showing you today exactly how to start using XLeads as a beginner so we can do it in the quickest, simplest, and most effective way. And if you kind of want a more personalized type of call, we actually do these types of trainings every single day, literally when you go in your dashboard. So right here on the onboarding, all you have to do is just click this link and you'll be right on the onboarding calls. Again, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. if you want more of a personalized handholding on this. And remember, for the last half of the onboarding calls, we do personal Q&As and question and answers, so we can help you out with any part of your onboarding process. So let's clear the air here. XLeads literally replaces like 12, 14, 15 softwares. So when you're first getting started, it could feel like a lot. I get told sometimes from new users, it's like, well, it was a lot easier to get started using this software. Well, I'm like, well, that software, all you did was pull a list and then you paid 12 cents for skip tracing. This one has a dialer, SMS, an actual CRM. I mean, most people in here aren't even used to an actual CRM. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but within an hour, you should learn how to use the software correctly for wholesaling success. So what we're gonna go over in this training is number one, how to pull lists and actually how to comp properties. Then we're actually gonna learn how to import lists inside of the XLeads CRM. Then we're gonna learn how to use our dialer. Then we're gonna learn how to get A2P approved. We're gonna learn how to text blast, use our XLeads CRM and automations, how to get our contracts e-signed, and then our XLeads Dispo tools. There are other things on here, but just getting started, this is pretty much the core 8 we really need to know. So when you get signed into XLeads, obviously like you're already in here, but when you get started and signed up, you're gonna get 2 emails. You're gonna get an email for your XLeads login access, which is just gonna be a login saying, hey, welcome to XLeads, log in. And then you're gonna get something called your leads token. Now, what is a leads token? Now, a leads token is exactly how you access the leads part of your section. And pretty much what this does is connects Go High Level with our XLeads platform, so it's one simple integration. Now, this second email is just gonna say access your leads, which is gonna be your leads token, just to make a username and password for the leads section. Now, you just have to do this once, and let me just walk through how simple it is to do as a brand new beginner. And remember, if you're like, oh my gosh, Zach, like I forgot what my passwords were, just click forgot password and you'll get your info emailed. Now, if there's any situations or problems here, just email support@xleads.com or call our number right here. We'll be more than happy to help you out. So here's the first email. It's basically saying, welcome to XLeads. This is the login portion. And it's pretty much just gonna give you your name, your email, and how to log in and create your account. You just click here. And you are gonna get instruction access on how to put your email in and then create a password. And all you're gonna do is go to the leads portion right here and just click it. And it's gonna ask you to go out here and sign in. Now, this is where you provide the leads token. Now, I might be like, Zach, I don't speak techie crazy. Like, how does this work? Well, you're gonna get a second email. Second email is gonna look like this. Welcome to your XLeads. Here is your token access. So pretty much your AI zip and all these things. So all you're gonna do here is just click set password, and you're gonna set your username and password just for this first time. Just make it the same as your other access. And all you're gonna do is put your information, and voila, you never have to do that again. Sorry about that, but it's the best way to get everything connected for the XLeads platform. Now, you got no problem. You can go in here and start going after and pulling leads lists. But let's go out here and just start from the beginning. So this is your XLeads dashboard. So when you log into XLeads every single day, this is the first dashboard you're gonna see. A quick tutorial on how to use the software. and pretty much everything you need to see on your pipelines, your distributions, your JV deals, your PPL deals, your on market, your wholesaling, all the distributions, all the leads are going to be right there. Of course, your onboarding and support is going to be here. A little tutorial that you're probably watching right now is here. Your tasks, your calls, your just manual actions. Pretty simple, just showing your health span and your kind of blood test or health markers for the business. Now, let's get started on actually pulling a list and comping of properties. Now, to pull a list and start comping properties, all we're going to do is just go to the leads tab right here and pop up our leads. Now, what we're going to do is just choose a list. Let's go and make this easy. Let's do Macon, Georgia, right? Nice little city, cool little wholesaling area. And all we're going to do is we're going to pop up the property information in Macon. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, there's going to be a brand new UI. So if it does look a little different, we are currently recording an extra video, a really awesome tutorial on this, but pretty much this is in Macon, Georgia. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to start pulling this list. Now, there are currently 53,000 properties in Macon. So if I'm looking to pull a property list to wholesale it, call it whatever, it's going to be a little too big. Now, let's say we want to go out here and do a high equity vacant list. Now, I don't live in Macon, Georgia, but let's just do it really easy. Now, depending on your plan, you might be like, oh my gosh, Zach, I don't see this. So remember, we currently have 3 plans. We have a basic plan, a pro plan, and an X plan. Now, for basic plans, you only have the include tab, not the exclude tab, and you are probably not going to see some of these filters, but still, you can do plenty of deals just on the basic plan. Now, you can get a vacant property with the basic plan, and you can also just go to make sure it's high equity and click high equity, but let's go out here and manually do this. You're going to find sellability scores. So this is one of my favorite parts. You actually get AI zip codes. So you actually have to go log into the actual leads platform outside of Go High Level to go out here and do it all yourself. But pretty much it'll show from AI if the seller is more likely to sell or less likely to sell. Now, what I'm gonna do here is just filter out a property list. Macon's pretty dang cheap. I think the median home price, it's like 170,000. So any property less than 200 grand should be good. Let's just do single family properties only. Okay, not bad. And owner type, individual or trusts. I wanna make sure they owned it for at least 3 years. And then the equity right, I wanna be at like 60% equity, right? Equity is just how much do they owe compared to how much the property's worth. So that's high equity, that's great. And this is a simple, nice little list of high equity properties that are vacant. And that's pretty awesome, right? Now, my favorite part about XLeads, which everyone knows, is you have free unlimited skip tracing. So we're doing some live skip tracing. We have the phone numbers right here. We can go out here and start attacking this list and talking to these sellers. Now, you're gonna see pictures by some of these properties. So the really cool part is XLeads actually has direct access to the MLS and all the MLSs around the country. So this is one thing XLeads has that not many other softwares have, is when a property is listed on the MLS from the past like 5 or 10 years, we have all the backlogged photos we actually put inside of the software. So these aren't probably current pictures. Let's actually look at this specific one. This one got sold in 2023. So these are the pictures on the MLS from 2023, and they're actually stored on our servers, which are really cool. But that's just looking at individual property. We have 278 here. So what I'm gonna do is just select all on these properties, go to my leads, and really depending, again, we are working on this for 2026. There's gonna be a little tab here that says save to contacts. And what it does, it moves all these properties into the contacts tab. Currently working on integration. It will be here very, very soon. But to go around this, all we have to do is don't press save to CRM. That's not going to work right now. That's part of the integration. We're just going to press download. We're going to press standard. And what we want to do is just select all of these. I used to say just do as many as you want, but honestly, at this point, just do all of them because the importing is already going to be mapped out for most of them. And you're just going to press export. Now, what it's going to do is it's auto-generating it. You see the little exports tab right here. You click it and you're going to go out here and let it process. Now we're going to do here is just go inside of the contacts tab and throw the leads in here. Now, this is the part of XLeads that we need to start explaining. So this is all in one, right? So our leads are here and our contacts are here. I like to think of contacts just like contacts on your phone. I'm assuming you have an Apple Android phone. If you have the other types of phones, I don't really know how they work. But pretty much what you want to do is for every single person you meet, you want to put them in contacts. And so if they call you, you know exactly what that phone number is, right? Even my guy that does ACs on my rental properties, he's on the contacts in my phone because if he calls me, I know who it is because I'll be honest with you, like I don't even answer like unknown phone calls. I think you don't either. So it's important to know that. So any type of property that we have marketing to, if it's a lead, if they're in my cold calling, if I'm going to text them, it is important we have them in the contacts tab. And so again, the integration is going to make it really, really smooth for 2026. But really what we got to do here is just go to import contacts and we're going to go import this list. Now, this is where things get a little murky between calling, importing, and all these things. And this is where some confusion happens. So let me clear the air here. Okay, it's really awesome that we have an opportunity here to basically do everything with one click of the button. And that's the point of XLeads. So for example, we pulled this high equity vacant property list with XLeads inside of the leads tab. Now I have a choice to make, right? I can just pour it into contacts and be like, all right, no problem. But if you're a little more organized and you have some clarity of what you want to do with these leads, we can just automatically set these leads up to be dialed, right? We can automatically set these leads up to be texted. We can automatically set these leads up to be send voicemails, email blasts, right? There's so much we can do here, right? So one of my personal favorite automations inside of XLeads is what we call our triple tap system. And what this triple tap system means when we pull a list and we tag the property list that we're importing as triple tap, basically what it says, it adds an automation for us to call, text, send a voicemail and an email to the seller. So we go out here and just attack the list as crazy as possible. It's kind of like a package, right? So you have a package, you put all your leads in the box and then you seal it up and you slap the tag call and you send it to the automation or in the little conveyor belt and they take that package and they call everything inside of that little box. So I kind of think of importing contacts as like that box. I slap that calling, that triple tap system, just email these sellers in there. And that's the best way I can really describe it. So if we're going out here, we actually put this into our deal boards, but probably not a good idea right now. All we're going to do is go to next, upload our file, and we're going to keep it at create and update contacts. This is important so we don't duplicate contacts, right? And double call or double text. We're going to press next here and all the information should be auto mapped except for some things. And this is where these automations are happening. Probably if you're watching this is already going to be auto mapped, but recipient address, that's the mailing address. We don't really need that right now, but property address, let's just go out here and map it really quick to street address, city. So property city is city, property state is state, postal code. And then we don't really need about any this information. We can all skip. Contact one name. We're just going to go out here and skip that one. Phone. We're just going to click phone right here. Contact one email. We're just going to put email. And then phone 2 is going to be additional phones. And then email 2 is going to be additional emails. Now, a lot of people say, Zach, why can't I just import 7 phone numbers in here? I mean, yeah, you can do that. I prefer not to because you don't want to overwhelm your dialer and it's just expensive to send extra calls and triple do it when it's better just to do the email 1 and 2. Now, the rest of this information, we don't really need too much of that, so it doesn't really matter to me. And if you're doing your MLS wholesaling and stuff like that, all the info is just going to be already auto mapped in here, which is all we need. So we don't really need any of this other stuff. I mean, we do get a lot of information. So we're going to do scroll to the bottom and press don't import the other unmapped columns. And we go to the next one. Now, a lot of people are like, should I do smart list? Not. How do I do this? What I recommend is you just import it into a tag. Now, if you want to make this really simple for a beginner, let's just import it for a workflow. So for example, if I just want to only call this list, right? All we need to do is just scroll this down to the dialer workflow, the power dialer workflow, and we're going to just simply get that list called. If that's how your brain wants to do things, go ahead. Go crazy. If you want to do the triple tap system, you just press ROS triple tap. And guess what? It'll do a call, text, email, go crazy. Now, if you want to get a little more nerdy, right? A little more like a ninja, you can press just add tags to these. And so maybe I want to add the tag power dialer. And I also want to go add an SMS tag. And then I also want to tag this as like a pre-foreclosure or something just on the back end, right? You can go out here and do that. Just remember, there's a little more complications with tags. So you want to get to crazy with it, you can. So the thing about XLeads is it's built on top of Go High Level as a base, right? The lead section, the dispo section, Go High Level doesn't have that stuff, right? That stuff we custom built, and all the other automations and integrations we have is custom built for XLeads. But again, a lot of it's done through Go High Level. And the reason I'm transparent is it costs $97 a month to get XLeads, and it costs $97 to get Go High Level. So obviously you'd rather get this than Go High Level because everything's custom built with 25,000 skip traces. Like, duh, no brainer, right? But if you want to learn more about this, and this isn't a cop out in the help center, but if you just want to go to Google and just search Go High Level tags, I actually really prefer you go to ChatGPT and ask, hey, how do tags work? There's some amazing videos that teach this, but there are a lot of things you can learn inside of Go High Level's websites where they educate consumers on how tags work, things like that. Again, our help center is amazing. Our team and support team knows all this stuff too. But if you really want to be like, I want to become like the ultimate like expert on Go High Level and how this works with Ninja Mode, you're more than happy to go out here and do it. I'm very transparent with how we build our systems. So that's how you can do it. Really, let's make it simple. Let's just do the ROS triple tap, and you can even do 2 if you want, but let's do ROS triple tap and everything looks all good here. So what we're going to do is say I confirm and start the bulk import. Now we're bulk importing our leads. Now all the leads are on here if they have an email, phone number, stuff like that. And the thing is, they're already going to be tagged and ready to go for the dialing and the texting. And so the automations are actually happening right now behind the scenes. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, right? So going back out here on the leads part, that's just how you export a list and then import it back into the contact section. But going back to leads, right? Let's say I have a lead now and I texted them and they said, maybe I do want to sell the property, or maybe someone calls in, or you just saw the property, right? And you want to go out here and talk to them. All you need to do is let's just put up the address of the property. So here's just a address right here. And this one's in Stuart, Florida, right? The owners are right here with their phone numbers. Here's the address. Now, the cool part is you got their number right here, which is awesome. You can actually just use the dialer here and call them. But what you can do here also is you got all the information you need about the property on the lead section. This looks like it's owned by a business. They have 62% equity. Here's some information about the house, concrete block. Is there loans on the property, all the information we need to know. Looks like the owner is Victoria and Alexander Gertzeich, whatever that is. And we got all the info we need here. Now, if you have the Pro or X plan, you actually get AI analysis. So you can press an analyze property with the Pro or X plan, and you get some cool information about the house. Now it's telling that this is off market, it's got high equity, this is owned by a business owner, and this is built in 2014, so it might not be the best deal out there. It's telling us where we should be at our offers, which is, I think, is really awesome, and all the information we need. Let's say we want to go out here and comp the property. We're just going to go out here and click comparables, and let's click comparables and start pulling some comps. So it does, it brings us all the way out there to Stuart in this area, and we can go out here and get some good comps. We can start divvying up how we want things. So if we want to look at only 4 3s in the area, because our said properties are 5-3, it says here, 4 to 5 bedrooms in the area. So now we're looking at some nicer areas here. Now you can do a mile, half a mile, however you want to go. Here's the square footage. It's already done for us, right? The square footage is 3,000, so it's already setting up some good parameters. Sales in the last 6 months, I mean, you can go 1 year if you want to go nuts too. Single family properties only, most likely. And we can start comping properties right here. Now, for only single family properties, there's a couple nicer ones over here, so not bad. We can plus minus things we like. We can use comps, get an AVM, get a score, and go from there. Looks like there's not many sales in this area for exactly what we want. So if you want to extend it, I mean, you can go crazy and extend it a little more. But that's really how you can comp properties in here. You get your average sales, you get what you like, what you don't, and you get your average price per square foot. And then you can multiply by yours to get kind of what you want. You can even download a report here that will go out here and generate the comp, so you can give it to a buyer, a partner, just to analyze it yourself. And I think it's actually really cool. It gives you some information, comps, you can send it to people, and you can kind of roughly figure out what the property's worth from there, just from some rough comping. But let's say we pulled the list, we want to start attacking these leads, and we want to start dialing and cold calling. So it's a quick 5-step process. Process number 1, we're going to go out here and buy a phone number. Process number 2, we're going to forward the calls to us. We're going to tag the properties if we import on the Power Dialer tag or the workflow Power Dialer. We're going to go to our conversations and start going out here and get calling. Then we're going to use wave for our triple line dialing if that's what we want to do. So to go out here and do this, all we need to do is just go to settings, scroll down to phone numbers, and we're going to press add a phone number. So let's go buy a number. Now the prices do fluctuate everywhere, so just understand that. But if I want to go out here and let's say we want to buy a phone number in Detroit. So Detroit's 313, first part of the number match, and we're going to choose 313. Now we're going to go out here, press apply. And these phone numbers are $1.15. They're usually $1.20. They kind of change everywhere, right? But let's do Detroit. Now you can actually go out here and choose the city and the area. Now there's actually a ton in here, but let's just choose this one, proceed to buy, and you bought your phone number. So if we import that list and let's say we just want to start dialing those 300, all we really need to do is go to conversations, manual actions, everything in our power dialer should pop up right here. So let's say, let's start, and we're going to start dialing. So it's going to pop up right here, smile and dial, baby. So it's going to call them, as you can hear. And if I want to see what their address is, all I have to do is scroll down here, go to general, and I see the address. So I'm just going to press end. It's going to ask us how the call went. So we have all these automations. The cool automation I think that I like is when it's no answer, we automatically send a text to them. If it's completed, it's completed, goes to the next one. So let's say the call was completed. What it's going to do is just go to the next lead and you start dialing back to back to back to back, right? So again, don't want to get in a whole cold call session today, but that's how you cold call the right way. Now, let's say I have some leads in my contacts and they're like actual leads, right? So let's say the Scott guy's a lead. I could just press a button right here and I could start dialing the lead right from the CRM, which is absolutely amazing. So let's not call the guy right now. And that's how you start dialing. Now, if you want to use a triple line dialer, you can scroll down here to the wave dialer and you can start buying a triple line dialer. Now, they got some good plans. Remember, this is not associated to XLeads, but you can start using the triple line dialer. The automations are pretty cool in there. But for about $100 a month, you can get the whole dialer unlimited calls. So usually if you're doing over like 100 calls a week, it's actually cheaper. But really for most people, the auto dialer is the cheapest option. And you can go out here and buy a triple line dialer for only $149 a month, which is actually a pretty dang good deal. So it really depends. You can use a triple line dialer inside of here, which is amazing. Now we did buy a phone number. So let's say we want to go out here and start text blasting these sellers. Now this is our demo account here. You can start sending an insane amount of text. You can actually do up to 3,000 a day. So up to 90,000 text using XLeads. And the cool part is it's the cheapest texting you can probably get anywhere. So how do you start texting motivated sellers or just texting leads in general, which is going to be amazing and very important? This is when we get started in the dreaded A2P process. Now, a lot of people kind of look at A2P like, oh my gosh, it's terrible. It's the worst thing in the world. It's absolute torture. I'd rather sleep on a bed of nails and walk on fire for a year than go through A2P. Well, it's really not that complicated. And let me show you exactly how you can get through it and do it in the simplest and easiest way in under like 45 minutes to an hour. Again, it's actually really easy. So the reason why you have to use A2P is legally you can't text sellers like on a business line without actually getting approved by the carriers. Because if you start spamming people, the carriers aren't going to let you. But if you say, hey, I'm a business, let me do it, then you can do it. And so there's 6 simple steps to get A2P approved. And these are the really ones. First and foremost, you got to buy a phone number, which you already did. Then we need to customize our A2P website. Then from there, we're going to connect the website to our domain and then host it on WordPress. 20, 30, 40 $40 a month at most to do. So if you don't want to do it, you don't need to. Then what we're going to do is we're going to submit our A2P application. Now, when we submit our A2P application, we're going to follow the step-by-step guide that Go High Level actually made for us. There's a step-by-step guide of what to exactly fill out and how to do it the right way. It's like a 30-minute video. If you just copy what they do into your account, your A2P will be done for you. Then step 6, you're going to get approved. So let's go through the process really quick. Again, what is your customized A2P website? So all we have to do is scroll down here to sites, and our website should be right here, our A2P approved website. Now it's already done for you. Like all the complicated A2P stuff is actually done for you, which is amazing. We actually worked with the team, worked with Go High Level to get it actually done. All you have to do is just customize like a couple things on there and you're going to be all good. So what you got to do is just press edit right here. And all you have to do is just put your company's logo on here. So let's say this is my company's logo, just making it really simple. Like, okay, there's the logo. Now I don't like the size, so we're definitely going to make it a lot smaller. So we're going to do like 20%, I guess. Make it smaller. Oh, geez. Like 60? There you go. Okay, whatever our company's logo is, it'd be right there, done. And all we have to do is just, okay, sell your Florida property fast. If you're nationwide, you can go out here and sell your property fast. Now, if you're in Utah, I would put like sell your Utah property fast. So, I mean, whatever you kind of want to put, customize it in there. And we have all kind of the ad copy I made for you. And you go out here and switch it. Now, if you want to go like advanced, right, you can go out here, put these buttons to other websites and connect it and go. You don't really need that right now. All you really need to do here is just customize the wording if you like it. If you don't like it, use ChatGPT. It doesn't really matter. This is already done for you. And so all you need to do is just make sure that we go out here and we set this all up the right way. So I did kind of most of the work. I brought you to like the finish line, but you need to finish the first part here. So what has to be customized on this form is right here, right? The phone number on the survey. So we're going to press edit survey and it should pop it up right here. And we just got to put the phone number that we use. And so if our phone number that we use is going to be like the one we bought, right? So if I just do this one, right, boom, we're going to press like save and it'll be done right there. And pretty much that's all. Now, if you want to add your privacy policy, use example, use your own, host it, doesn't really matter, but just make sure you put a good privacy policy in there and you can actually do it for free on WordPress. So you can just go there and do it. But I would recommend that you just build it in the website builder and host that on WordPress too. And that's all you really need. After that, I mean, just put your information on here. Now, I didn't put our company's phone number on there, so just edit that yourself. Put the city you want, make sure the privacy policy link. So if you want to link it, there's a little link button right here and boom, your website is all published and good. So the next part is to actually connect it to a domain. You might have a GoDaddy, you might not. So press connect domain and you're going to select the domain you have. If you don't have a domain, you can go purchase it or connect an existing one you have. Ninja Mode helps you do all this stuff really easy. So you can put your domain in here and you can get it connected. So let's just do like XLeads.com, press continue and then add it to the traffic and you can go right here and connect your domain. You don't even need to buy it. Now, if you go here to publishing, all the other steps you need are right here. There's even a little WordPress funnel right here where you can activate WordPress for only $15 and just host that website with WordPress for the cheapest price you possibly can. And boom, you have your website domain connected, you have your customized. And so all we have to do is submit the A2P. So all you have to do, go right here to settings, and this is our demo account. So go to phone numbers and we're going to go here, go to the Trust Center and buy your phone number, press start registering, and then you're going to start registering. Now, once you start registering, you are going to fill out the instructions just like this. This is currently approved from the Go High Levels website that I'm including on here to make it as simple as possible to get your A2P approved. Then right after that, you're going to press submit and you should get approved. If you don't get approved, make sure you go on our daily onboarding calls, reach out to the phone number right here and you'll be set up. Now, if you go to the help center on A2P, the entire website's right here, but right here is just the video we're showing you, right? This is going to be the actual demo of how he shows how to insert links, do your privacy policy. Now, a lot of the stuff you actually have already custom done and set for you, but it is really important to go through exactly what he tells you to do because I'm not going to say to copy literally everything step by step, but people that you want a 99% success rate, just copy literally everything he's doing and just use it for your company. And I promise you, you're going to have the most success possible. Like, I don't even want to tell you what to do because this guy has like almost 100% success rate. So just do what he does and trust me, you'll have your campaign improved, your brand really easy, 36 minutes, super simple and done. Now, once you get your A2P approved, text blasting is a breeze, right? We import our properties. We'll either tag the property SMS or triple tap right or SMS blaster and we start texting them. We can go inside the CRM portion, start texting. I mean, it's really easy. Now, a lot of our follow-ups are automatically going to have that in there. So for texting or missed calls, like it's right there. Now, what I want to do is kind of show you exactly how to use the CRM portion. So when we have the leads, how do we actually treat the leads like an actual CRM? And I want to show you kind of behind the hood on how these automations work and how you can tweak them and edit them the way you want to. Now, if you are a little confused on this part, our support team is more than happy to help you out. So again, how we treat the CRM is going to be pretty much on the deal board right here. Now, all we need to really focus on and what I just need to teach you is how to connect contacts with the deal board. That is like literally it. So this is the CRM portion, right? It's just a simple left to right board, like a conveyor belt, right? They start at once to sell. If they don't want to sell, we bring them a follow-up, appointment set, we send the contract for the e-signing. Now it's under contract, we send it to the buyer, left to right, really simple. So how we do this is, let's just go to our contacts. Let's say we have an amazing lead here. Let's just pick on Teresa Moore. I don't know why. Let's pick on Teresa Moore. And let's say Teresa right here, we've decided she is an actual good lead. Now we can go to opportunities here and just push her into basically the wholesaling pipeline as wants to sell, or we actually go to the deal board itself and add her as an opportunity, right? So let's just look up Teresa. All of her information pops up right there. So done. So let's go add it in and her info. Now you want to add her source. Maybe I can put like bandit signs or something like that. And we're going to press update and pops up right here. So again, drag it left to right for all these things. Now, the cool part about how the CRM portion works is behind the hood, we have you doing a lot of things. So for example, if you just want to put this person on a follow-up right here, it's going to auto follow up with them every single day. And, I can just like hide it from you and say, I'm not going to tell you. Well, all you have to do is just go down here to automations and it shows you exactly what gets done. So for example, if I go to my acquisitions folder and I just basically go to follow up, right, it's just going to do exactly what you say, right? And it's going to show that basically we are going to tag them follow up and we're going to hit them basically with calls and texts until basically sell or die. Now going back to the deal board here, let's say we want to send the contract to the seller. Now to send the contract to the seller, right, to e-sign with them, we need to make sure that we have all the information we need so everything's done automatically really quick and easy. So all we have to do is just click on Teresa Moore and just make sure all the information we need for a contract is filled in. So street address is all good here. We got all that. Now all I have to do is just do contract info and make sure we have all the information because we can't like auto import when a closing date is. So let's say we're going to close here on, let's say the 1st of, January of 2026. And we say seller agrees to not keep fridge. I don't know, something crazy, right? We're going to add a 45-day inspection period. Let's do a $1,000 earnest money deposit. Contract price is going to be, let's for a clean 100K, make it simple. And then just in case there's like, a married couple. So if it says here, right, Teresa Moore, maybe we can just put Teresa Moore. Maybe she's the only one. Legal description should automatically be put in with the next update, but we can just copy it from XLeads. So let's just go here really quick and this address right here, save it really quick and just get the legal description. All right, legal description is literally that. Cool. Right here, cash buyer name. We don't really have a cash buyer yet, but if we do, let's say have a cash buyer, put that in there. We're just going to press save. And now we have all the information. So go back to deal board. And what we're going to do is drag Teresa Moore all the way here to send contract to seller. Then from there, it's going to automatically set up a contract to send. Now I could set it up in a way where it automatically gets them emailed the contract. I don't like that. I'm the type of guy that I just want to look over it really quick. Just make sure everything's all perfect because maybe I'm a perfectionist, but I'm going to press contacts right here. I'm going to go to documents and contracts, all documents and contracts. And right here, the automatic purchase and sale contract is signed right here, well, created right here, and all the information's popped in. The only thing I need to add in is the agreement date. Now, I'm not going to say people backdate it or forward-date it, but some people get upset at me. So we have it where you just put your own date on there. Just use today's date. But really, just to make it simple, we're going to press preview and we're just going to make sure all the information is correct. We're going to put, let's say, a date on here, and then all the information should be here. Now, closing will be held at, I didn't write the title company, but let's just do American title. Okay, cool. I think all the other information's good. Now we just got to date it, right? Whatever the date's going to be. And we got all the information for me, the buyer, them, what they're going to do. So awesome. Done. All right, let's just put the address in really quick. Awesome. Here we go. And we can save it or just press send. What it's going to do is send via email, send via link. So if you want to send them a link, but pretty much if you have to text them, right? So you don't want to email them, you just save via link, generate the links. And you can even text this link right here that looks like this, which they can actually do over texting, which most people need to do e-signing. So we actually put that value in there. It would be good to go. Or if you want to send it via email, you can resend via email and it'll email them, right? Obviously, I don't want to email her, but if you want to change the kind of what the email link looks like, it's going to look like right here. So all the information you want to put your logo, get cute, fancy. It's going to be all in there. Press save. And what she sees is going to be this. Now, let's say we have it under contract now. Now we want to go out here and send the assignment. So we can go right here, send the assignment, but we need to get the cash buyer's info. So let's press Teresa Moore here and let's go out here and get all of her info. So let's get some cash buyer information. So closing date due for due from the cash buyer. Let's say cash buyer is going to do it by September 26th. Cash buyer name is Zach Rentals Georgia LLC. Cash buyer is going to send a $5,000 EMD. Now the assignment fee from the cash buyer, they're going to pay me a, let's say, okay, what's their contract price? So original contract price is for $100,000. Let's say we sell it for $150,000. So they're going to pay me a nice $50,000 smackaroos for this deal. Total due at closing is going to be $150,000, right? That's their contract. Now, we're going to minus the EMD from this. So what's 500 minus that? 145,000. Title company, ABC title, and make sure that we got all the forms we need here. So I think that's going to be all set. Press save. Awesome. So let's go to deal board here. Let's send Teresa to send the assignment to the cash buyer. We go back here to contracts, and the e-signature should pop up automatically right here. Now, if you have any other documents, if you do other businesses or you have any agreement, you can just press plus new, upload an existing PDF right here, and you can actually manually go out here and do this and just get this e-signed manually. So you can just press add an element and then add a signature and then customize all these fields for the e-signature if like you want to do it without the automations. But I do recommend everyone just sticks to the automations because they're made just for this. So right here is the assignment of contract we have. All the parties' information's right here. So everything's set up right here. So all we need to do is just press send and we can get it sent. All right, all the info's right here. Awesome. We're set to close. So all you have to do, again, send it over via email or link and you get it e-signed right there. Then when the property is set to close, we just move it to set to close and we're done. We actually have an awesome JV deal board, which actually lets you have inbound JV deals get in here where you can actually use our deal underwriting for all your JVs. So the best way to do it is you just go out here to sites, you go to forms, which is right here, and you should have a JV intake form. Now, this is automatically going to be set up for you. So for me, obviously, just do me a favor, don't put my name on here, but just go out here and put your own image right here. So I'd delete it, put your own image, you'll be good to go. But pretty much what this form does is give me all the information and do the right opt-in stuff. And what it's going to automatically do with an automation, which I'll show you right here on the JV section, is it's going to actually have our deal underwriter. So pretty much what you need to know is you can change this however you want, but pretty much when a form is submitted, it's going to go out here under our math operations and just start doing the math to underwrite the deal. Now, if the deal is good, if the ARV is under 200, it's going to go out here and say, yes, the deal's good, it's approved. If the deal's not good, it's going to fail. And depending on the ARV of the said property, it's going to do just a lot of math, right? Like for example, it's just multiplying it by ARV minus repairs and then doing a lot of other variables on here just to see if the deal is good or bad. Again, not trying to over confuse you, but if you submit a deal with that link, on your deal board for JVs, it's either going to approve it or not. And the cool part is we automatically figure out exactly how much we think you are going to make on a JV deal exactly under the opportunity value, which is really cool. Now, you can actually get your JVs e-signed right here. So for example, we submit it right here. We actually have a JV agreement done on contracts for e-signing right here. And again, if we want to preview this right here, this is just our joint venture agreement with all the information about the JV that we need to get done. Now on the deal board section, we actually have other ones. We have on market ones, which basically means if you want to go import like on market properties and import it here, you can choose where you want to throw it in because we have a subject to low equity blaster. We have a dual agency low ball blaster. We have a high equity low ball blaster. Now, don't want to get too confused with this. We're going to have some more trainings on how to do this, but pretty much, let's say, for example, we want to go out here and do dual agency where the realtor gets the buy side and the sell side commission. It's automatically set up where it's going to blast out 70% of the list price. You can go automations, do it lower. It's all set up perfectly in there. I really wouldn't mess with it, but if you want to go and mess with the automations, click automations, go to on market, and they're all going to be in there. For example, on a dual agency low ball blaster, it's going to do some math, basically multiplying the current list price, which is automatically fielded in by 70%, then 6%, and we're automatically going to email the agents an offer on their property, basically saying I want to present an all cash offer with this much that will yield you in commissions for the property right here. Now, the really cool part about this too is it just kind of highlights the commission portion and then and the back end, the actual price, which isn't amazing by the way, but it pretty much much just says, hey, you'll make a fat amount of money if you accept my stupid low offer right here. And it's pretty cool. Then it has a bunch of automated follow-ups right here, which is pretty done for you. Really awesome. And the last deal board is the PPL deal board. So if you're coming from actually iSpeed-A-Lead, which we actually have a ton of people, we can actually go out here and buy, let's say, a coupon club lead, and let's say they never answered it. We can literally just export that data from iSpeed-A-Lead and import the opportunities section right here. So if we have all of our iSpeed-A-Lead ones and we just want to import it, we can do it right there. But really just the simplest one. Again, you're not buying a crazy amount of leads, just add manually the opportunity in the contacts and then throw it in here and it should be good. Now the stage can either be a PPL where they did not answer, but it's a non-cold call lead, or a PPL where they answered, it was a cold call lead. Really the biggest difference is if it's a non-cold call lead, you say, hey, I saw you filled out a form on my partner's website. And if it's a cold call lead, just say, hey, I saw you talk to my partner on the phone saying you're interested in selling your property. Now, the really cool part that we have here on our automations is if you bought a iSpeed-A-Lead coupon club lead, which by the way, $24 leads only with clicking the little PPL lead. Now, don't want to get on a little tangent right here, but again, coupon club for iSpeed-A-Lead is usually $29. You got to pay $200 a month, and then you get leads for 29 bucks a lead. Well, for XLeads active users, which we have a ton coming from iSpeed-A-Lead now, you can just click this little PPL link right here, and you'll be connected to get $24 leads. If you don't, please email support@iSpeed-A-Lead or our support@xleads.com, and we'll get you connected. Remember, we honor retroactively any of those discounts from iSpeed-A-Lead, so you'll get hooked up retroactively, no problem at all. Now, the cool part here, again, if they didn't call, it goes right here, and we have automatic refunds with iSpeed-A-Lead, which is awesome. So pretty much how that works is if somebody is a non-cold call lead, which basically like a PPC lead from iSpeed-A-Lead, right? We're automatically gonna set these automations in here. So if you wanna go here to automations, go to the PPL, we're gonna go to the PPL non-cold call lead that didn't answer. It's gonna be right here. So again, once we put in there that, again, no answer, non-cold call, what it's gonna do is we're gonna send a little text that says, hey, John, just saw you filled out a form on my website saying you're looking to sell your house, just making sure you're still interested in selling. Then what's gonna do here is just wait for a reply. And if they did reply, then obviously we can't really get a refund because they're actually replying to us. But if they didn't reply, then we blast out an email, we add the tag follow-up daily, remove them out of there, then we throw them basically automatically in the follow-up daily for a while, and we basically just call, text, we leave about 5 calls, 5 texts, 5 emails. And as you probably know, with some of these PPL leads that don't answer, it's a pain in the butt to get a refund from people. Even iSpeed-A-Lead sometimes, right, before this was created. And I knew this was a major issue because most PPL companies are impossible to get refunds from. But iSpeed-A-Lead actually worked with us here, and it automatically gets sent after no answers for 5 calls, 5 texts. Automatically, we're going to send out a triggered automatic email to iSpeed-A-Lead saying that we called it and we're requesting a refund. They know exactly the codes on here. We have APIs working together. So if you send a refund, you're going to get it refunded really quick and really easy because XLeads is the best PPL software out here when you buy your leads. Now, that's how you do it if you're into PPL leads. If you're not, no big deal. If you are, just click here, buy your PPL for the $24 discount. Again, it's lower than any other software. Even if you want to buy PPL, you have to use XLeads to get the greatest price on PPL ever, which no one else has because no one else has the best software like us at XLeads. Again, from the top, some of my favorite automations is going to be basically, again, if they don't answer the call, we're going to automatically leave a text. If we want to use the triple tap system, all we have to do is just tag ROS Blaster. We have a ton of follow-up automations, and then to send the JV agreements, it's automatically automated on the deal board. Now, the last part that we need to go over here is how to actually use the dispositions tools that are currently provided in XLeads. Now, the really awesome dispo tools are actually going to be in the Pro and the X plan, but the basic plan has some cool tools too. So if we go out here to XLeads, all we need to do is, if we have the basic plan, is just go to leads right here and we can find some cash buyers. So what we can do is just choose like Macon, Georgia, for example, and we go to filters and we can just find a cash buyer filter. We can filter out like, hey, I want market value, like people that buying houses under 200 grand, single families only. And you can like scroll down here and be like, okay, well, I'll make sure the last sale date was like the past like 3 months. So cash buyers buying cash deals past 3 months under 200 grand. And you have plenty of good cash buyers here. Good part is you can find these and You could tell that the skip tracing is cool. So great quality, still corporate skip tracing. But the really cool part is on the Pro and the X plan. And you just click the little Dispo tab. Now the Dispo tab is literally nowhere except for the Pro and X plan. So don't look for it if you have the basic plan. Now, if you do want to upgrade, you can call the support numbers and we're more than happy to upgrade you too. Pretty much what it looks like here is you just get a little more. So if I want to do, let's just do Macon, Georgia again. And I want to go out here and find the flippers, right? These are people that are buying and selling properties with basically like an actual like pattern going on. You can find them right here and you can filter out a little more. So right here, these are the top flippers in Macon, Georgia. So for example, here, like REI Velocity LLC, a little harder for another software to go out here and find this, but we have it right here. They flipped 13 properties the past year and they're buying them for around $63,000 and making some good profits. So if I click this address right here, the actual owners of this LLC pop up right here. You know why? Because XLeads is literally the best for Dispo. They pop up right here. We got their phone numbers and we see some details. Now it looks like they own 6 properties and flip 13. What you can tell here in Macon, Georgia is if you want to see landlords, like actually see the properties they currently own as rental properties, they pop up right here. So it looks like there's about 3 in the Macon, Georgia. But if you look at Flipper, you can tell that he's flipping properties here and doing a landlord in the other end. So you can actually kind of see a pattern. He likes to flip properties over here. Here likes to own rentals kind of all over the board, right? Now, what you can do is you can just add this person to your leads, or you can look at their whole entire portfolio by clicking residential investments. Now, this actually pops on the XLeads app, which is a little more in-depth on the whole XLeads stuff, and you can see all their investor properties. But usually go back here to XLeads part, make it really simple and easy. Click a button, start calling them right there. You just add it to your leads, and he is under your leads right there. Actually, let's reset this. And you can add them to your leads right there. Now, if you want to make the Dispo like really easy, you just say, hey, select, the first 25 here. Those are plenty of flippers. Go to filters and go to landlords tab right here. And you're going to find some good landlords. Now you want to, with the landlords, make sure they bought it like within a year. You don't want a landlord that like owns a bunch of rentals, but they're not actively buying properties. So you want to max out maybe like 100 rentals and they own at least like 3. You don't want like anything lower than 1, but you kind of want to figure out there are a lot of landlords in Macon, but you want to make sure you go out here on the filters tab and make sure that they're purchasing like within a year. You don't want people that are not purchasing it or not actively buying more rentals. So select all. You have like 95 buyers here. Like that's, if you lock up a deal in Macon, like you're going to get it locked up right there. So I'm gonna go to my leads here. You can actually press download, standard, obviously lead trace, and export that data set. What I would actually do in this situation is we actually have some automations for Dispo, which I think is really cool. Get these automations. All you have to do is just import the list. So go to contacts, import the data set, and actually put cash buyer. Just tag them cash buyer. And what automatically going to happen if we go to our automations, you're going to see this under cash buyers or Dispo. You're going to go to cold buyer outreach. And pretty much what this means is if we tag a property cash buyer, we're going to start emailing and blasting them out. Say, hey, do you want to buy any more off-market properties? They're going to keep asking them, hey, do you want to buy some more off-market properties? Are you interested in buying? And we're just trying to turn these cold buyers into someone we have a conversation with to be a warm buyer. Now, if let's say I actually locked up like a real deal, I would actually go here to our Dispo deal blaster. This is for our warmer buyers. Now, the reason is we just kind of want to go out here and treat them a little different as if they're a cold cash buyer. So contact tab Dispo. Then we're going to start dripping about 1 per minute. And we're just going to be SMS blasting. Hey, I locked up another property. Can I send you over the address? You don't want to send that to a cold buyer, but you can do it right here and blast it out. Again, I just be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of listing a property, but if you're like hell bent on it, what I'm going to tell you to do is go right here to app.xleads.com. This is going to expand the leads portion of here. We actually have a lot more in here, but we're actually expanded it a little more. Now we kind of keep everything inside of just the regular XLeads account, but if you're watching the end, you go to app.xleads.com and your leads token kind of gets a little more expanded. And what you can do here is just go to properties and go to create and create your property. Once you add all your information, what you can do is actually go to property right here and you're going to put some information about the property. So go to the bottom and under additional marks, just write like, hey, 32 must sell, cash flowing, save that. Go up here, go to listing on the sale. Now this is for the Pro and X plan. You can go out here and list the property, let's say for 200,000, list it for like December 1st, save the info. Then we go out here on photos and videos and upload some pictures of the house. And then all we need to do is just press publish property right here and just put your information. It automatically pops up and this awesome, sexy sell point link pops up right here. Just click that link and voila, we actually have a listing we can actually, send to wholesaling cash buyers or just cash buyers in general. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but again, this has been such a requested feature. I made it because this is how some people dispo, and I'm not going to stop you from making money wholesaling. So this is definitely a good dispo section and a way to actually go out here and find cash buyers kind of more in depth. You can copy the sell point link right here, and on your automations, you can actually include it on your SMS or your email if that's something you want to do. But overall, the way we kind of do things is once we have that buyer, we send them if they want to do it, we put their buyer information in the contacts tab so we can keep the wholesaling deal board in one simple, clean way. Some people like dispo deal boards. I'm not a big fan. I want to keep it one nice, simple and clean. So let's say this Nancy gal, right? She's the seller, but this guy's the buyer. Well, I'm just going to go out here under contract info and then start putting their name under cash buyer EMD, stuff like that. Also important too, if you want to go out here and tag them cash buyer like a contact, you can separate them from regular contacts. Now, how you do that is you go here and let's say I want to find my cash buyers versus regular sellers. I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go to more filters, and that can filter by tag and just say, hey, is, and then I can just put is under the cash buyer tab. And then I can find all my cash buyers. Demo account, no cash buyers in here yet. But if I just find all my cash buyers, they can be in here organized pretty well. You have your little cash buyer database right here. But overall, that's how you start using XLeads. Again, I try to give a complete beginning to end tutorial on here without going too crazy in depth with just showing everything you need to know. Please, 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 I'm begging you. If you have any questions, I highly, highly recommend you join our daily onboarding Zoom calls. Every single Wednesday, we actually have A2P workshops. And if you want more hand-holding, like 2 hours, office hours of XLeads experts just in a Zoom, waiting hand and foot for your questions to go in your account, help you out, hold your hand. But go out here and get the X plan. It's the biggest plan. It's the most expensive plan, but it's got the most support. It's got the most exports, the best features. And if you just want that extra service, X plan is right there for anyone a little confused as a beginner. So if you want to do that, please just email support@xleads.com or call us on our support numbers and we'll upgrade you right there. But overall, guys, daily onboarding Zooms. We'll answer the phones on any questions you have from anything from this video right out the phone for the support. Our support staff takes months and months for training, and I'm telling you, they're experts on go high level, they're experts on billing, anything leads right there for you for success. So let's go out here and start using XLeads. And don't be shy. If you got questions, let us know. Let's start getting some wholesaling deals.